What if everything you thought you knew about the music industry was a lie? What if the stories you've heard, the images you've seen, and the idols you've admired were all part of a carefully constructed facade? This question is at the heart of a new investigation that is shaking the very foundations of the entertainment world. The focus is on one of the most influential figures in rap and hip-hop, Sean Combs, better known as Diddy. Once celebrated for his musical talent and business acumen, Diddy now faces serious allegations and an intense investigation that could redefine his legacy and the industry itself. Recently, previously unseen footage and candid interviews have resurfaced, triggering a wave of public outrage and demanding a closer look at what really goes on behind the scenes. These revelations expose a darker side to fame and success, far removed from the glamorous lifestyles portrayed in magazines and music videos. The resurfaced material shows moments filled with tension, controversy, and secrets that many never thought would come to light. The public is now faced with uncomfortable questions about the true nature of power and influence in the music business. This ongoing investigation doesn't involve Diddy alone. Other major stars such as Usher, known for his smooth vocals and record-breaking performances, and Aaron Carter, a pop icon with his own turbulent history, have also been connected to these events. The intertwining of their stories suggests a larger network of relationships and potential complicity that few outsiders could have imagined. The connections among these artists open up a complex narrative about the interplay between fame, power, and hidden agendas. Throughout the story, we aim to uncover and reveal the hidden truths behind the glitz and glamour that has long captivated fans around the world. What we find may surprise many, challenging the conventional narratives of success and celebrity culture. Beyond the bright lights and red carpets lies a complicated reality full of intrigue, manipulation, and undisclosed conflicts. This story promises to provide a rare glimpse into the shadows cast by the music industry's shining stars. Stay tuned as we dive deeper into these revelations, peeling back the layers to bring you the full truth behind the headlines and scandals that are rocking the world of music today. From street hustler to music kingpin, Diddy's rise was nothing short of legendary. But at what cost? Sean Combs, better known as Diddy, transformed himself from a young man navigating the tough streets of New York City into one of the most powerful figures in the music and entertainment industry. His journey is a classic tale of ambition, talent, and relentless drive. But beneath the surface, it's also a story filled with controversy and unanswered questions. Diddy's career began humbly in the early 1990s when he started as a talent director at Uptown Records. His keen eye for talent and sharp business sense quickly set him apart, leading to the founding of Bad Boy Records in 1993. This label would soon become a powerhouse, launching the careers of some of hip-hop's biggest names, including the Notorious B.I.G., Faith Evans, and Mace. Under Diddy's leadership, Bad Boy Records became synonymous with success, producing chart-topping hits and shaping the sound of a generation. But Diddy's influence extended far beyond just music production. His charismatic personality and savvy marketing turned him into a brand in his own right. He expanded his empire into fashion, fragrance, and even beverages, making him a mogul with power reaching beyond the studio. Artists who signed under his wing often spoke about the opportunities he provided and the platform he created for them. However, the price of this success was steep, as Diddy's control over his artists was known to be intense and sometimes unforgiving. Central to Diddy's empire was the concept of the flavor camp, a term that symbolized the unique culture and tight-knit community he built around himself. Flavor camp wasn't just a nickname for his group of artists and associates. It represented a lifestyle and a code of loyalty. Being part of Flavor Camp meant access to resources, protection, and the chance to climb the ladder of success. But it also came with unspoken rules and expectations that could be difficult to navigate. Despite his undeniable success, rumors and dark allegations have long swirled around Diddy's name. Whispers of power struggles, intimidation, and questionable business practices have been part of the conversation for years. But until recently, they remained largely in the shadows. These rumors hint at a side of Diddy's reign that contrasts sharply with the glamorous image he projects in public. As investigations and resurfaced stories emerge, many are beginning to question what really happens behind the scenes of this influential empire. Diddy's rise from the streets to the throne of the music industry is a complex narrative filled with highs and lows, triumphs and shadows. His story is not just about success, but about the costs and compromises that come with wielding immense power in a highly competitive and often ruthless industry. Understanding this rise is key to grasping the deeper issues now coming to light as the investigation into Diddy and his circle unfolds. A young Justin Bieber partying with Diddy. What really went on behind closed doors? Recent resurfaced videos showing the teenage pop sensation Justin Bieber hanging out with the influential rap mogul Diddy have sparked intense public debate and concern. These clips, some over a decade old, capture Bieber at a time when he was still underage, attending parties and social events in environments that many feel were inappropriate for someone so young. The footage portrays Bieber mingling in adult settings, surrounded by flashing cameras, alcohol, and a crowd that raises serious questions about the protections in place for young stars within the music industry. Fans and critics alike have expressed discomfort at seeing Bieber in these circumstances, especially knowing how vulnerable young artists can be when thrust into the spotlight. The fact that these videos have resurfaced now adds fuel to ongoing concerns about how the industry operates behind the scenes and whether enough is done to safeguard rising talent. Public reaction to these clips has been swift and vocal. Social media platforms are buzzing with discussions and debates over the appropriateness of Bieber's presence at such parties. Many are questioning the roles played by adults, particularly powerful figures like Diddy, in allowing or even encouraging these situations. The clips have become emblematic of broader issues related to exploitation and the blurred boundaries that often exist in entertainment circles. People are asking, was this just youthful partying, or is there something more troubling hidden beneath the surface? Examining these videos raises critical questions about the treatment of young stars in the industry. How much control do they actually have over their environments? Who is responsible for their safety and well-being? These clips suggest that the lines between mentorship, exploitation, and business get dangerously thin when power dynamics come into play. It also highlights how the pressures of fame can sometimes push young artists into situations they might not fully understand or be prepared for. Moreover, the resurfacing of these videos feeds into growing suspicions surrounding Diddy's behavior and the culture within his empire. While nothing definitive has been proven, the imagery and context raise eyebrows and invite closer scrutiny. They contribute to a narrative that questions the ethics and accountability of influential figures in the industry. As investigations continue, these early signs could be crucial in uncovering patterns of conduct and the true nature of the environments cultivated by powerful moguls. Ultimately, these underage party clips involving Justin Bieber serve as a stark reminder of the vulnerabilities faced by young celebrities. They expose the potential risks lurking behind the glitz and glamour and force us to confront uncomfortable truths about the industry's role in protecting, or failing to protect, its youngest stars. Usher lived with Diddy at 13. What he witnessed still haunts him today. The R&B superstar's candid revelations have sent shockwaves through the music world. In interviews with Howard Stern and other platforms, Usher has opened up about his early years under the wing of Sean Diddy Combs, painting a disturbing picture of life inside what was known as the flavor camp. This once hidden world was far from the glamorous image that fans and the public associate with their idols. Flavor Camp was more than just a nickname. It represented a culture and lifestyle that revolved around Diddy's empire. According to Usher's accounts, it was a place where the lines between childhood and adulthood were dangerously blurred. Usher recalls being a young boy immersed in an environment dominated by adult behaviors, including parties where drugs, alcohol, and explicit activities were common. These were not the safe spaces one might expect for a minor thrust into the industry. Instead, they were settings filled with sex parties and situations that no child should ever be exposed to. Usher's feelings during this time were complex and painful. He speaks of confusion and fear, trying to make sense of what he was witnessing, while still trying to survive in a world that demanded both innocence and maturity at the same time. The pressure to perform, to keep quiet, and to navigate a confusing environment left deep emotional scars. He often felt isolated, unable to fully understand or process the abuse happening around him. This internal struggle remains a haunting part of his past. Despite the trauma, Usher has largely remained silent about his experience, a silence that many interpret as stemming from fear and intimidation. The music industry, especially the circles connected to Diddy's empire, is known for its power and influence. Speaking out can mean risking one's career, safety, and reputation. Sources close to Usher have confirmed that his reluctance to discuss the abuse publicly is driven by genuine concern for personal and professional consequences. Testimonies from individuals close to Usher further corroborate his accounts. Several insiders who have chosen to remain anonymous have described the abusive environment at Flavor Camp, supporting the claims of inappropriate and exploitative behavior. These testimonies suggest a pattern of misconduct that extended beyond isolated incidents, pointing to a systemic problem within the culture fostered by Diddy's group. The revelations paint a troubling picture of an industry that, while shining brightly on the surface, harbors dark corners where abuse can thrive unchecked. Usher's story is just one piece of a larger puzzle, but it is a critical one, highlighting the vulnerabilities of young artists caught in powerful networks. It challenges the industry's narrative of success and glamour by exposing the human cost behind the scenes. As the investigation unfolds, more voices like Usher's are expected to come forward, breaking the silence that has protected abusers for too long. His experience serves as a reminder of the importance of listening to survivors and holding those in power accountable. It also emphasizes the urgent need for systemic change in how young artists are treated and protected. Usher's revelations are a powerful call to action, urging the industry and the public to confront uncomfortable truths. The Flavor Camp experience is not just a story about one artist, but a reflection of a broader culture that allowed such abuses to occur. Understanding this dark chapter is essential to preventing future harm and ensuring that the next generation of talent can grow in a safer, more supportive environment. Aaron Carter's final cries for help were ignored. Was he silenced for knowing too much? The story of Aaron Carter is one filled with early stardom, heartbreaking struggles, and a tragic end that leaves many questions unanswered. From the bright lights of pop fame to the shadows of exploitation, Aaron's journey exposes a grim side of the entertainment industry that few want to acknowledge. Aaron burst onto the music scene as a child star in the late 1990s, capturing hearts with his youthful energy and catchy songs. His early success brought fame, fortune, and a devoted fan base, but behind the scenes, his life was far from the carefree image portrayed in the media. As he grew older, Aaron faced mounting struggles with mental health, substance abuse, and personal trauma that haunted him for years. These challenges were compounded by the pressures and demands of the industry, which often prioritize profit over the well-being of young artists. In recent years, Aaron made shocking accusations about abuse and exploitation that he suffered while navigating the music world. He spoke openly about being manipulated and taken advantage of by powerful figures who controlled many aspects of his career and personal life. Aaron's warnings were chilling. He claimed that certain handlers and insiders in the industry operated with impunity, using their influence to silence victims and protect their own interests. These allegations painted a dark picture of an industry rife with abuse, where the vulnerable are preyed upon and voices of resistance are crushed. The circumstances surrounding Aaron's death only deepen the tragedy. Many have pointed to suspicious factors that suggest his passing was more than a simple tragedy. Questions remain about who had access to him in his final days and why his repeated calls for help were seemingly ignored or dismissed. His death has ignited fierce debate and concern about the potential role of powerful people in the industry and whether those seeking to expose the truth were actively silenced. Notably, Kanye West's name has surfaced in connection with this troubling narrative. Kanye, a major figure in the music world himself, reportedly had links to some of the same handlers and management connected to the alleged abuse. These overlapping relationships highlight a pattern within the industry where certain circles of power operate behind closed doors, maintaining control over artists and suppressing damaging information. The recurring presence of these handlers raises serious concerns about systemic corruption and collusion. Before his untimely death, Aaron issued multiple warnings about the dangers lurking behind the scenes. He spoke about feeling watched, controlled, and afraid for his safety, pleading for someone to listen and intervene. Unfortunately, his cries largely went unheard, leaving a trail of unanswered questions and a legacy shadowed by silence. His story underscores the urgent need to reevaluate how the industry protects, or fails to protect, its youngest and most vulnerable stars. Aaron Carter's tragic tale is a stark reminder of the human cost behind the music industry's glittering facade. His life, struggles, and untimely death force us to confront uncomfortable realities about exploitation, power, and the devastating effects of silence. As investigations continue and more voices come forward, it is crucial to honor Aaron's memory by seeking justice and demanding accountability from those who have long evaded it. This story is not just about one artist. It is a reflection of a broken system that must change. Only by acknowledging these dark truths can the industry move forward and create a safer, more transparent environment for future generations. Aaron's voice, though tragically cut short, continues to echo as a call for awareness, courage, and reform. Katt Williams has been warning us, Now he's ready to tell everything on the record. For years, the outspoken comedian and actor has hinted at troubling truths lurking beneath the surface of the music industry's glittering facade. But now, Katt has stepped forward with bold courtroom testimony and explosive claims that have shaken the foundations of the entertainment world, shining a harsh light on figures like Diddy, Usher, and Aaron Carter. Katt Williams's role in revealing these stories publicly cannot be overstated. Known for his fearless humor and candid commentary, Katt has often used his platform to challenge powerful individuals and speak uncomfortable truths. Unlike many others who have remained silent or dismissed allegations, Katt took the brave step of coming forward in legal proceedings, providing first-hand accounts that corroborate the troubling patterns emerging from other testimonies. During recent court hearings, Katt delivered testimony that was both shocking and compelling. He spoke about witnessing inappropriate behavior and abusive environments connected to Diddy's empire, describing incidents involving Usher and Aaron Carter that painted a disturbing picture of exploitation and misconduct. His statements detailed how these stars were often caught in complex webs of control and manipulation, orchestrated by influential figures seeking to maintain dominance and silence dissent. The impact of Katt's words was immediate and profound. In court, his testimony challenged defense arguments and provided critical evidence supporting ongoing investigations. Online, his revelations sparked widespread discussion and brought renewed attention to stories that many had hoped would be forgotten. Fans and commentators praised Katt's courage, recognizing the risks involved in speaking out against some of the most powerful people in the industry. What makes Katt Williams's bravery especially remarkable is how it contrasts sharply with the silence of others. Many artists and insiders connected to Diddy's circle have chosen to stay quiet, whether out of fear, loyalty, or self-preservation. Katt, however, has refused to be intimidated. His willingness to expose uncomfortable truths has made him a lightning rod for both support and backlash, but he remains undeterred. One of the most disturbing revelations Katt shared was about attempts to buy his silence. He revealed that powerful individuals offered him significant sums of money to keep quiet about what he knew. These offers underscore the lengths to which some will go to protect their interests and prevent damaging information from coming to light. Katt's refusal to accept these bribes speaks volumes about his commitment to truth and justice. Katt Williams's testimony serves as a crucial turning point in this ongoing saga. By breaking the silence, he has opened the door for others to come forward and added momentum to the efforts to hold abusers accountable. His words remind us that speaking out against injustice requires courage, especially when facing influential adversaries. As this story continues to unfold, Katt's role highlights the importance of whistleblowers in exposing hidden abuses and demanding change. His experience also raises questions about the culture of intimidation that surrounds powerful figures and the challenges faced by those who dare to challenge it. In the end, Katt Williams stands as a symbol of resistance and truth-telling in a world too often governed by fear and silence. His voice amplifies the calls for justice from victims and survivors and serves as a beacon of hope for a music industry desperately in need of reform. Day 16 of the trial exposed violence, threats, and a web of lies. But will justice be served? The courtroom has become a battleground where shocking testimonies and damning evidence paint a troubling portrait of Sean Diddy Combs and the powerful empire he commands. As the trial unfolds, details emerge that reveal not just isolated incidents, but a pattern of violence, intimidation, and deliberate attempts to cover up wrongdoing. The question on everyone's mind remains, can justice truly prevail against such formidable opposition? Several key witnesses have taken the stand, providing first-hand accounts that pull back the curtain on the darker realities behind the headlines. Among them is a stylist who worked closely with Diddy's inner circle. This stylist described an environment rife with fear and coercion, where artists and staff alike were expected to maintain loyalty no matter the personal cost. She recounted moments of verbal abuse and threats that created a climate of control, emphasizing how difficult it was to speak out against such a powerful figure. Another pivotal testimony came from a fire investigator who detailed the suspicious circumstances surrounding a fire at a property connected to Diddy's operations. According to the investigator, the scene showed signs of tampering, suggesting the fire may have been deliberately set to destroy evidence. This revelation adds weight to accusations that attempts were made to erase crucial proof that could implicate Diddy or his associates in criminal activity. A police officer who was involved in the initial stages of the investigation also testified, shedding light on the intimidation tactics allegedly employed by Diddy's team. The officer spoke about receiving anonymous threats and interference when trying to gather information, highlighting the challenges law enforcement faced when probing into the mogul's affairs. These insights underscore the complex and often dangerous nature of holding powerful figures accountable. One of the most startling pieces of evidence presented was the destruction of fingerprint evidence from key locations tied to the case. Experts testified that the loss of this forensic data was highly unusual and suspicious, implying deliberate sabotage. Such destruction raises serious questions about attempts to obstruct justice and protect those responsible from facing consequences. Cassie Ventura, a singer and longtime associate of Diddy, also provided testimony that has drawn significant attention. Her statements offered a rare glimpse into the inner workings of Diddy's circle, corroborating some of the patterns of behavior described by other witnesses. While Ventura's testimony was measured and cautious, it lent credibility to claims of a toxic culture marked by fear and manipulation. The significance of her testimony lies in its insider perspective, shedding light on dynamics that few outsiders can truly understand. Throughout the trial, defense motions aimed at dismissing key evidence or discrediting witnesses have been consistently denied by the judge, signaling the court's commitment to thoroughly examining the allegations. The trial's progress indicates a determination to get to the truth, despite the complex legal battles and high-profile names involved. Each day brings new revelations that challenge the defense's narrative and bolster the prosecution's case. This unfolding drama reveals a tangled web of violence, threats, and lies designed to maintain power and silence dissent. The testimonies and evidence collectively expose how deeply entrenched these tactics are within the empire built by Diddy. They also highlight the courage of those willing to come forward despite the risks, shining a light on a system that often protects abusers at the expense of victims. As the trial moves forward, all eyes remain fixed on the courtroom, awaiting the verdict that could redefine accountability in the entertainment industry. The stakes are high, not just for the accused, but for every artist and individual caught in similar cycles of abuse and intimidation. This trial represents more than just a legal battle. It is a pivotal moment in the fight for justice and transparency in a world long shielded by fame and fortune. If Diddy's empire is falling, who else will the truth take down? The unraveling of Sean Diddy Combs' powerful music and entertainment empire has sent shockwaves far beyond his immediate circle. As investigations and testimonies expose systemic abuse and corruption, many wonder how deep this dark machine really goes, and who else might be caught in its crosshairs. The music industry, known for its glitz and glamour, hides a less visible but far more sinister reality beneath its surface. There is a growing pattern of abuse, silence, and protection that seems to permeate celebrity circles. Victims often find themselves trapped in cycles of exploitation, with predators shielded by layers of money, fame, and influence. Those who dare to speak out risk career sabotage, public shaming, or worse, creating a culture where silence becomes the only safe option. This dangerous dynamic is not unique to Diddy's empire, but is sadly emblematic of a broader systemic problem. Speculation has been rife about other possible victims and perpetrators operating behind the scenes. Industry insiders whisper about powerful figures whose names rarely surface publicly, but who hold enormous sway over artists' careers and lives. These individuals allegedly use their status to exploit young talent, perpetuating abuse with impunity. The pattern is disturbingly familiar. Protégés are groomed, exploited, then discarded or silenced when they threaten to expose the truth. Among those rumored or accused, but not yet publicly confronted, are several high-profile artists, producers, and executives whose influence spans decades. Their names often come up in conversations about the industry's dark underbelly, but the fear of retaliation and the complexity of legal battles have kept them shielded from public scrutiny. This ongoing veil of secrecy benefits not only the perpetrators, but also the powerful institutions that profit from maintaining the status quo. Money and power are the ultimate tools in keeping these secrets buried. The entertainment industry's enormous financial stakes create incentives to protect reputations and investments at almost any cost. Legal teams, private investigators, and even intimidation tactics are employed to silence victims and suppress damaging stories. This machinery of concealment has allowed abuse to persist unchecked, fostering an environment where justice is often elusive. Yet, as Diddy's case unravels, cracks are appearing in this carefully constructed facade. The courage of survivors and whistleblowers is slowly breaking through the barriers of silence, forcing the industry to reckon with its failures. Public awareness is growing, and the demand for accountability is louder than ever. This shift threatens to bring down not just individual abusers, but the entire ecosystem that enabled them. The industry's dark machine is vast and complex, involving not just celebrities, but managers, agents, label executives, and others who wield behind-the-scenes power. Each link in this chain plays a role in perpetuating a system that prioritizes profit over people. Understanding this network is crucial to dismantling it and ensuring that future generations of artists can thrive in a safer, more transparent environment. Ultimately, the fallout from Diddy's empire's collapse may serve as a catalyst for broader change. By exposing the interconnected web of abuse and silence, it challenges the industry to confront uncomfortable truths and take meaningful steps toward reform. The hope is that this reckoning will inspire not only legal consequences for those involved, but also cultural shifts that reject complicity and embrace protection and respect for all artists. As the truth continues to emerge, the question remains, how many more will be brought to light? And how deep does this dark machine reach? The answers may reshape the music industry forever, shining a much-needed spotlight on the shadows where abuse has thrived for far too long. Fans are worried, insiders are scared. What happens if the truth keeps coming out? The recent revelations surrounding Diddy, Usher, Justin Bieber, and others have ignited a firestorm on social media and beyond. The public's reaction has been one of shock, concern, and growing demands for justice. People are questioning the culture that allowed such abuses to flourish and wondering what this means for the future of the music industry as a whole. On platforms like Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, conversations have exploded with fans expressing disbelief and empathy for the victims. Many have voiced deep concern about Justin Bieber's early involvement with Diddy, given the resurfacing clips showing the young star in questionable situations. Usher's haunting accounts from Flavor Camp have further fueled the discussion, shining a harsh light on the environment that many young artists endure. The culture of silence, exploitation, and fear is being challenged like never before. This public outcry has led to a rising demand for accountability. Fans and activists alike are calling for those responsible to be held to the highest standards. There's a growing insistence that the industry must take meaningful action to prevent abuse and protect vulnerable artists. This groundswell of pressure is forcing labels, managers, and executives to rethink how they operate, pushing for greater transparency and responsibility. Other artists are beginning to respond as well. Some are breaking their silence, encouraged by the bravery of survivors and whistleblowers who have come forward. These artists are sharing their own experiences, adding weight to the calls for change and shining a spotlight on systemic issues. Their voices contribute to a collective movement aiming to transform the industry's toxic culture into one that values safety, respect, and dignity.
Looking ahead, potential reforms are starting to take shape. Industry leaders are discussing new policies to better handle abuse allegations, including independent oversight, clearer reporting channels, and enhanced support for victims. There is talk of creating safer environments on tours, in studios, and at events, as well as holding powerful figures accountable regardless of their status. While change won't happen overnight, these initial steps represent hope for a future where exploitation and silence are no longer tolerated. The public's reaction and the momentum for reform signal a turning point for the music industry. The truth is coming out, and with it, the opportunity to rebuild an industry that protects its artists rather than endangers them. Fans, insiders, and survivors alike are watching closely, eager to see if real change will follow the revelations. The story is far from over. What will you do when the truth finally hits home? As we've uncovered, the dazzling world of music and fame often conceals dark secrets that affect countless lives. From Diddy's empire under investigation, to Usher's haunting memories, to the tragic tale of Aaron Carter, the revelations shake the very foundation of the industry we thought we knew. The stakes are high for everyone involved, not just the powerful figures in the spotlight, but the artists, fans, and communities who have been impacted by these hidden abuses. It's crucial now, more than ever, to listen to victims and believe their stories. These voices have often been silenced or ignored, but their experiences reveal systemic problems that demand accountability. Holding the powerful to account is not just about justice for the past. It's about preventing future harm and creating a safer space for all artists, especially the most vulnerable. The truth challenges us to confront uncomfortable realities, but it also offers a path toward healing and change. As viewers and readers, your role is vital. Stay informed, question official narratives, and support survivors in every way possible. Awareness is a powerful tool that can break cycles of silence and fear. Share stories responsibly, uplift the voices of those who have suffered, and refuse to turn a blind eye to injustice. Your engagement fuels the momentum needed to transform the industry from within. We encourage you to like this video or article, subscribe or follow for updates on this evolving story, and turn on notifications so you never miss a development. Your continued attention helps keep these issues in the public eye and pressures decision makers to act. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Who do you think will speak out next? Which revelations do you find most shocking? Your voice matters in this conversation. Finally, spread awareness by sharing this story responsibly with friends, family, and social networks. The more people who understand what's happening, the harder it becomes for these injustices to be hidden away. Together, we can demand transparency, reform, and respect in an industry that has too long thrived on secrecy and exploitation. The journey toward justice is ongoing, and every one of us has a part to play. When the truth finally hits home, will you be ready to stand up, speak out, and support change? The future depends on it.